Hey, what is up guys? Lars here of Kilobit Nomad, and today we are going to be upgrading the CPU. This is the Ryzen 5950X from AMD. I currently have the 3800X, but I need more cores for my Unraid server. This is the Ryzen 9 5000 series. Basically, it has a 16 core and 32 threads. That is crazy. I currently have 8 cores and 16 threads, so this is pretty much doubling the core count and the thread count that I currently have right now. There's not much really on this box, to be honest with you. This is pretty hollow and stuff. It's pretty light. You actually only have a little bit here. Okay, that's a styrofoam. You see that pretty big hollow plastic, but the actual processor is right here. So it does say 5950X, Ryzen 9. And it's pretty small. It does come with a sticker right here, the Ryzen 9 5000 series, but never really put that in my PC. Anyways, and this is the multi-language certificate of authenticity right here. It has a basic instruction on how to put it and stuff. So we are gonna be putting this in my PC right now. Don't worry, I'm gonna speed this up. It's gonna be like a time lapse. Alright, so we have installed the Ryzen 5950X on the PC right now. All BIOS settings is set to auto, except for the RAM voltage, which is set to 1.35, but that's about it. As you can see here on the CPU Z, showing Ryzen 9 5950X, HW Info 64 is showing all the cores right here. It was peaking at 4.848, a little shy under 4.9 gigahertz. So let's try to do a torture test. So with all 32 threads running right now at maximum, core clocks actually went down to 2.7 gigahertz. That is very interesting. Okay, so we're back on Windows 11 right now. I actually restarted and tweaked the BIOS setting a little bit. I have enabled the PBO on the BIOS settings for the AMD. It was set on auto earlier, but right now I've set it to enabled and see if there's going to be any difference on all that. Let's try to do the torture test again with the PBO enabled now, explicitly enabled. And yes, that made the difference. So all cores right now are running at 4 gigahertz, 4.1 gigahertz. So that made a massive difference from 2.7 gigahertz to 4.1 gigahertz. So enabling the PBO, I'm not even trying to do any overclocking, just enabling the PBO, and AMD is gonna auto overclock and all that. So that is pretty good. Okay, so let's go to Unraid. Okay, so we're back. We are on the Unraid server of the Kilobit Nomad Unraid server right here. As you can see, it's showing Ryzen 9 5950X, 16 cores. Wow, you can see all those 16 cores and 32 threads in total. Temperature is around 47.5 Celsius. So we are gonna run Prime 95. I also have this CPU core frequency monitoring right now. It's at every two seconds rather. Let's try to run the Prime 95 here for the Unraid server. And here we go. We're gonna run. Accept, yes. Okay, so all 32 threads are running. As you can see right here, everything spiked up. Temperature is still at 41.5 Celsius. Oh, okay, it just changed to 86 degrees. Okay. It's fine. On Windows 11, it was around 90 degrees. It plateaued at 90 degrees. So let's see the CPU core monitoring. It's at 4 gigahertz. I'm pretty happy with that compared to if it was 2.7 gigahertz. So that is pretty good. Hopefully this is 100% stable at the moment. I have enabled the PBO. Initially, I set it to auto. For some reason, it wasn't working properly. So I had to enable it specifically. I'm not doing any enhanced mode and all that. This is for the Unraid server, not for gaming. So I'm pretty happy with this one. Cancel the torture test, hit enter, exit. We're gonna exit on that. Okay, back to the idle temperature right now. It's hovering around 50 Celsius right after the torture test. Now it's 46.5. That is pretty good. All right, so you've just seen the stress test of the Ryzen 5950X after unboxing. I initially had a minor hiccup. I set everything on auto on the BIOS, but for some reason during the Prime 95, stress test. All cores went down to 2.7 gigahertz. That was not impressive, but I had to restart and enabled the PBO specifically just to hit enable the option on my motherboard, and everything worked out pretty well. It was peaking on single core around 4.8, 4.9 gigahertz, and all cores during the stress test was at 4.1, and even on Cinebench at 4.2 gigahertz on basic benchmarking tests and all that. Also did for the Unraid server, it was averaging around 4 gigahertz all-core on Prime 95. So that is pretty good. I'm going to be testing way more on this one, especially on Final Cut Pro and how it performs. But that's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button, and if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you have any suggestions, comment down below. I'm Lars of Killer Be Nomad. See you in the next video.